It always surprises me how little connection is made between colonialism, the plantation landscape, deforestation, and how we've arrived at our current climate crisis. My name's Shiraz Bayjoo, and I'm one of the UK Associate Artists at Delfina this year as part of Collecting as Practice. My practice explores the legacies of European colonisation, mainly focusing upon the Western Indian Ocean, Mauritius, East Africa, where my family and myself originate from. I have spent the last few years exploring different narratives, interconnection between different islands, and thinking through the importance of landscapes that have held slave histories and ideas around trauma in the landscape, and how these continue to permeate in the lives and senses of who we are. I work across a variety of media, from painting to film to sculpture, most of this culminating in different forms of installation. I create lots of different kinds of making in a way to think about how we can create stories and narratives that give us different proximities, different amounts of sensibility towards ideas and spaces. So as part of my residency with Delfina this year, I've started a new body of work, a new direction of research in partnership with Kew Gardens, looking at their economic botany department. Kew released quite an incredible statement recently in terms of its legacy as a major part of the mechanism of the British Empire, and how it is now seeking, in a way, could be described as restitution, seeking to somehow bring back some form of repair and the returning and rewilding of indigenous plants. So in this way, I have been looking at plants, different plants and seed samples that exist both in the herbarium, the original seed library of Kew, but also in terms of their live collections as well. There is something quite extraordinary about being connected to collections that are not just inanimate objects, but they are living. And in the terms of seeds, they could well be recreating environments, ecologies that support so many other forms of life that are definitely very unique to the places that they have originated from. So in this sense, it's been quite interesting to think about how one interacts, how one might connect to these collections. And so I'm working with a wonderful dancer, Nicolas Faubert, who works in various forms of hip hop and street dance. Nicolas has a really particular style of how he connects with objects and people, and the way that he traces around the surfaces and explores spaces through his movement. So we're currently working with Nicolas here at Delfina as we continue to practice and develop the performance work. This is bringing together different elements from Kew's archive collection, including different examples of the botanical illustrations, and also as well as the director's letters, which I described before as presenting the environment within which many of these plants were collected. There is both going to be quite long-term outcomes from this work, but also this initial response to the collection and the architecture of the institution through performative dance.